Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining me on the Rundown with Ramon podcast. I'm Ramon Ray, publisher of zoneofgenius.com. And I'm excited to have this amazing conversation with Tulika Gupta. And I think you told me before, Tulika, that I have the pronunciation, the accent on the wrong part of it. Let me hear your full name and what is your role at Adobe? And I'm so glad you're here with us today.
You got it right, Ramon. It's Tulika. So the two is that's where the emphasis is. And thank you for having me. And I just very quickly, I work as a principal product marketing manager at Adobe.
I love it. And in that role, to give us an idea of what that role is, Adobe is so big. You have so many products, so many employees. Give us an idea of where you fit into the larger Adobe ship. Go 2 or 3 levels up for the layperson. Give us an idea of what that role means and then what your role is at Adobe.
Yeah, so Adobe looks at itself in like these 2 verticals. One's called digital experience and the other's called digital media. So everything like Photoshop or any of those nostalgic products like Acrobat fall under DME or digital media, which is where I sit. I work specifically on Acrobat. So it is my favorite product, and hopefully we can talk about it today. And other than that, from a different lens, product marketing sort of sits in the middle of product sales and marketing. So you're sort of helping. You have a lot of cross-functional teams you work with, and so I truly love the job because there's a lot of people involved, and I love working with people and working as a team.
I love it. I love it. I know we're going to get into some products and see where that goes. But before we do that, I do want to talk about an accolade. I mean, it's right here in my face. I'm looking at it on LinkedIn. Product Marketing Influencer 2025. And I'm sure it's going to be 2026, 2027. One, how important is that? How proud of yourself you are to get that? What does it mean? And why did you earn that distinction?
Yeah, no, thank you so much, Ramon. I think truly it's about just saying things that resonate with people. One of my biggest principles is customer first, and I cannot emphasize that enough. You'll see a lot of my LinkedIn posts tend to be around listen to your customer, because we become especially in large organizations, we become so intrinsically focused where it's about, I want to build this or we want to build this. But we forget that lens of keeping in mind what the customer wanted in the first place. And I think this can happen with smaller companies too. So there's a balance of making sure that you're also making sure you're testing your product or testing your messaging before putting a lot of resources behind something. So always listen to your customer.
Yes. No, you're right. And I think when you go astray on that, oftentimes, again, sometimes you bring a product to market that nobody asked for, but I have a feeling even then, like some of the billion-dollar companies and inventions of today, even then, I bet that we didn't ask for it, but whoever invented it knew what we didn't ask for.
Yeah.
so they were still right.
And to your point, you can iterate fast. So you can put something out there, still just test if it's resonating, if it's wowing the people enough, and then go all into it.
I love that. Well, listen, let's jump into it. I'm excited today because Adobe has so many products, gazillions of users and et cetera. You guys are an esteemed company. So let's dive into 3 products I think that you felt, hey, Ramon, your entrepreneurial small business growing audience may want to use. I won't preview it. I'll let you say what the product name is and maybe a little bit about it. And then I think you were going to show us some things and I'll let you lead. How about that? You take it away.
Sounds great. So I was thinking about what could be very relevant to your audience. And I know creativity is so central, right, to making your brand look good. So I'm going to start with showing a bit of Firefly and how you could use that to create content. And then we'll focus on Express, which is very easy to use. You don't even have to be a designer of any sort. If I can do it, anyone can do it.
That's my kind of tool then.
So we'll start there, and then we'll get to the document bit, which is Acrobat. Again, as I said, it's my favorite product. It makes life easy. So hopefully that's what we can do. So let me see if I can share my screen.
And I'll bring it up right now. Yep. Here we go. Yeah, we see it.
Awesome. So I'm on firefly.adobe.com, and because I saw the sneaker here, I
Hmm.
was like, okay, let's try to create an image of sneakers. Say your brand, you're selling some consumer good.
Hmm.
Let's take the sneaker example here. I just type my prompt. I pick image. I can also create a video. I pick
Okay.
which model. So if you prefer nano banana, let's try nano banana. And what it does is hopefully it'll quickly create an image.
And we're
Uh,
live. I didn't. This is not taped, everybody. This is not some
no,
demo. This is Tulika's like Ramon. We're just going to go with it. So
yes.
be
You know,
patient with bandwidth issues and all those kind of things, everybody.
exactly. And, as you say, it takes
Oh,
time
wow.
sometimes. And I really love the image, but, you can add a lot more to this. So a lot of people are like, yeah, it's all great. You see, I was experimenting with it,
Hmm.
but I'll tell
Hmm.
you what I did. Um, you always want some creative control, right? AI generated image, great, but then I didn't want it that way. So what can I do? So I picked an image, which is these shoes.
Hmm. Hmm.
I just downloaded an image from online. I said, hey, I want something that looks similar to this. So I added it to the reference here. And you can choose the strength of this reference. So I just picked the middle point. So
Hmm.
now the prompt's still the same, red and white sneakers with the mountains and sunrise in the background. Let's change it to beach and waves.
Okay.
But I've given that sample image, so hopefully
Hmm.
it creates something that has a lot more to what I
Hmm.
want
And
from
while
it.
it's creating that, Tulika, just also, oh, that looks nice. Help us understand. Adobe Firefly is an AI based image creation tool that works with, because you mentioned other LLMs. So just help us at a high level understand what is Adobe Firefly and the connection to any other tools that you're using.
Yes, yeah. So Firefly actually, so here you can download any of these images. You can
Mhm.
open in Photoshop directly and
Looks
start
good.
editing. But let's go back to Firefly. So Firefly is essentially being able to use AI to create images, videos. It also offers like the ability to create avatars that can
Okay.
talk based on the transcript. So that's what
Nice.
it is. But the best part is, you can use it gives you all the flexibility of being able to use all these models that you might have been using anyway
I see.
from within Adobe. But what I love is that when you see it says commercially safe. So if you
Mm.
use the Firefly models themselves, they're trained on data that we had. Basically, we have the rights to trade on that data. And so that content authenticity initiative that Adobe supports is why I like the Firefly models. And so if you want to be sure, you don't have to worry about the image I created. Am I gonna is that gonna be contested someday?
Mhm,
You
mhm.
can be sure to pick Firefly, and you'll be making a. I think you'll be commercially safe.
Yeah.
You'll be creating commercially safe content.
And I
So
didn't realize this again. So this is one of those things, people who don't know, there's a lot of great tools out there, free tools, pay tools, whatever it is. But what I'm hearing you saying, again, if I'm wrong, correct me, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but that be careful what you use. That go have fun, go give a
yeah,
birthday card to your mother or your niece. But for businesses, you need to
exactly.
be careful. And that's what Adobe's history and legacy is. It's a business tool. Using Adobe, you can be sure that whatever you design is on point. That's kind of the essence of what I'm hearing.
Absolutely. So
Okay.
it's so important to just, know as a business, then certain things become much more important. So now let's move on to Firefly.
Okay.
So hopefully you see my screen.
Yeah, I see it. Mhm.
Great. So with Firefly, it is meant for an everyday user like
And
me.
this is Firefly. Yeah, Firefly.
Sorry, Express. Did I say
Adobe
Firefly?
Express. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
sorry.
Okay.
Express, Adobe
Yep.
Express.
Yep.
So with Express, you can pick all these templates. You can basically anything you need, whether it's a social media post, whether it's a presentation template, you have it here. So let's say I am a small business and I
Mhm.
have um, a promotion going on for the holidays. That's really nice.
Mhm.
But um, if I have a brand, I pretty much probably have a brand kit, right? I probably
Mhm.
have
Mhm.
certain colors I always use. And so now it becomes, I have a template, but it's really hard to make it
Mhm.
my brand, right? It'll still take me time. But with Express, I can actually save my brand, So let's say our company is called Bodea. I just
Mhm.
press the apply brand, and you see it gives me all
Okay.
these options, and I can switch between a few options. I like
I'm ready
this
to shop right
one.
now.
And say I don't like this image, I can remove it. I
Okay.
can add content. I can actually use generate image, which uses Firefly again, and add an image. So I can put a prompt again. It'll create, let's say, gifts
Mhm, mhm.
for the holidays, Christmas vibes. Such a bad
And
prompt.
as you're doing that, Tulika, I think one thing that I'm seeing here, and again, it's my ignorance. I've used Adobe tools for years, but I always thought, and don't get offended at me, that Adobe was only for professionals, those who are the gurus, those who are the
Mm,
ninjas. Honestly, that's what I thought all these years. And I'm in tech. I do this. But when I'm seeing this, I'm like, oh, this is for the average person who's non-designer is the word I guess they use, but they can do stuff like this. I didn't
yeah.
realize it. My shame. Didn't realize it.
Absolutely. And so, I mean, again, I did a really bad job, but
You did a
we
good
can
job.
easily, you know, make sure it like fits in
Yep.
all of that.
Mhm.
So that's Express for you
This
in
is
short.
Adobe Express. And then help us understand where does it, so Adobe Firefly is that kind of AI tool, generate images, things of this nature. Adobe Express, where does that fit into? What's give us the name? How is that used?
Yeah. So, historically, Adobe's always had this creative suite
Hmm.
of Photoshop and InDesign,
Right.
Illustrator, really meant for true designers.
Hmm.
And so Express sort of bridges that gap. It's for people like us, the
Got
knowledge
it.
workers who are probably just dealing with documents most of the time, but
Hmm.
occasionally need those templates. So it's just very easy to use. You just go to express.adobe.com and you can start using it. And the
Got it.
most important thing, again, with Express, especially for small businesses, is you just set up your brand once and then you can apply it to any template. Just makes it so much easier to stay consistent, whether it's for social media or you're printing banners or anything of that sort.
Got it. And I'm curious with tools like this, and if it's not in this version, that's fine. But what comes to mind, can you also share this with a professional? Can someone say, hey, I've done the heavy work for you. Now you can go off and do the rest on your own. Is there some way to integrate an expert and then have the Ramon non-expert edit it and
Yeah,
do all that? Okay.
absolutely. You can always share it. You can share it just within your organization. You can share it externally. So there's a lot of options there.
Great.
Um, all right. So now
It's like
we'll
a
get to
tour
my
of Adobe.
favorite. Yes. It's just that there's so much innovation, and
Yes.
I think it's hard to really understand what's going on. And it's always easier when someone shows you what it can
Yes.
do, at least for me. So I love that you've given me the opportunity to
Absolutely.
showcase this.
Yeah.
All right. So now we're at Adobe Acrobat. Now,
Hmm.
Adobe Acrobat's always been that, like, Acrobat is PDF, right? It's
Hmm.
like that
Hmm. Hmm.
final format. I'm just going to open my, document, convert it to PDF, and that's what
Hmm.
it's for. But a lot has changed. So there's something
Mm.
called Acrobat Studio. So I'm at acrobat.adobe.com. So everything's just the product name.adobe.com.
Hmm.
And there's a lot of new features. There's something new called PDF Spaces.
Mm.
And so there's already some curated PDF Spaces. Now, what PDF Spaces are a bunch of files together. So you see some celebrities actually have their PDF Spaces
Mhm.
here. You can see how Chance the Rapper writes his rap
Mhm.
songs, and you can interact with these spaces. But
Okay.
I'll show you how to create one. So, say you're a small business and you're just trying to figure out what are the new trends,
Mhm.
so that I understand how that applies to me. So, I'm going to click Create a PDF Space. And when I'm creating a space, I can add files. I can add
Mm.
100 files, 100 megabytes each, up to 600 pages each,
Wow.
any format. So let's say I put together certain documents.
Mhm.
So I think I have a PowerPoint here. Most of them are PDFs. I think I picked a lot of reports on
Mhm.
how
Mhm.
AI is affecting businesses. So now, as it uploads these files, it'll actually give me some sort of insight on what those files are. And we'll
Mm.
wait because this is all live and it's
Mhm. Mhm.
processing. What I didn't want to show as it adds those files is that it can also take web links. So, say I was doing some
Oh.
sort of research and I'm like, oh, I found this amazing page. So, say I found this,
Hmm.
which is on how AI is changing the way we operate.
Hmm.
Very relevant. I want to add it to my PDF space.
I
I
see.
just put it, add it, and add it to the PDF space. So it's just going to add that file. It has already uploaded the rest. We'll give it a second.
And so this is beyond PDF. This is a document. Is it like a document collaboration or more document repository? Give me a sense at a high level of who would use this and why. I'm doing research and I want to bring it together and go back to it. Kind of tell me a bit more
Yeah,
about it.
so it could be you're doing some sort of marketing
Okay.
research. It could be a sales professional.
Okay.
Say you're selling to a customer
Mhm.
and you want them to look at a bunch of your files. You'll have to
I see.
attach 10 files. Instead, just send them this PDF space and they can actually ask questions and it'll pick it from the
Very cool.
files you sent. So the PDF space is now created. Now you can use it for all these different things. So let's say
Mhm.
I want to understand what is the change in consumer behavior based on
Mhm.
these files. And I'm going to ask that.
Oh, you can ask it questions based on what's inside there too. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. The whole point of PDF space is not to pick answers from outside these files. So, sometimes you don't want it to crawl the web and
Mhm.
hallucinate.
Mhm.
And so it'll give me the answer as I need. The best thing about this for me is generally when I'm doing research, I want to make sure I'm saying the right things.
Mhm.
And so when I click on these attribution numbers, it'll show
Oh,
me which paragraph it found it
I
in.
see.
And so you can verify or read more and make sure, it's all lining up the way you wanted.
Mhm.
I can also just save this answer as a note. So I'm going to save it to notes. You can see all my notes here.
Mhm. Mhm.
I can give this a title. And when I do this, oops, I'm going to go back.
Mhm.
When I save notes and when I share this PDF space with someone, they will see the notes. They will not see the
Mm.
chat, but they will see the notes. So you can choose what you want to show. Now,
Got it.
I wanted to show you one quick thing with PDF
Mhm.
spaces. You can also just say I'm done my research and I
Mm.
actually want to create a LinkedIn post
Mm.
and highlight what I learned. So, I want to talk about how AI is transforming
Mhm.
businesses. And I gave it a little more context, saying I'm a CEO of this
Mhm.
company. And what we do is customer service using AI. So, how can I tie that with how AI is influencing businesses into a
Mhm.
LinkedIn post? So, let's see how it does. And then I'll show you one more thing about this.
Please, this is a tour. This is like a bonus tour.
All right. So, what I love is that it gives you like it adds all the icons on its
Mhm.
own. So, you can it adds the
Mhm.
hashtags.
Mhm.
So, all you have
Wow.
to do is
Okay.
copy and paste. So, it gave you all the key things that you can mention in your LinkedIn post. You could just copy and paste it or make it your own. And there you go. So, that's sort of how you use a PDF space. But
I
the
like
one
this.
thing that I did want to show is
Mhm.
say, you found out from your research something. Now, your next step would have been you'll then figure out how to present this in slides. Say you had to present it to someone. Now you can just click this present button, which is what I did.
Okay.
And it knows the 10 files that I had
Mhm.
already uploaded. It's looking at that. And all I'm going to say is, let me give it the same prompt.
Mhm.
Give me, okay, let's say we do.
What I like about this, Tulika, as you're doing that, is that you're in the bubble of Adobe. But for me, as a tech aficionado, as a tech, I forgot the word people use, but a tech, user, I didn't realize this. So I mean, I know the Adobe name. I know you have a lot of products, but I'm seeing more and more. And the other thing is that, and correct me if I'm wrong, that companies that want to leverage AI, companies that want to leverage all this is a way they can do it safely and ensure their data stays as their data. That's what I'm seeing here.
Yes, exactly. And for Adobe, security is very important. We know
Yep.
how much businesses care about that. And we always keep that at the back of our mind. So all I said is create a presentation on AI
Mhm.
agents and the consumer journey. I picked what length I wanted, who's my audience, the level of detail I want. Next, it'll ask me which template I want.
Okay.
We let's say like this one
Mhm.
will generate an outline for me, so I can actually change the outline in case I don't like how it's thinking about going about the slides.
And this is all within Adobe uh, PDF spaces.
Correct. This is all
Okay. Wow.
within Adobe Acrobat, which now has Acrobat Studio specifically has
Acrobat Studio.
PDF
Sorry. Yes.
spaces.
Acrobat Studios. Okay.
It has PDF spaces.
Got it.
And so give me an outline. I'm not going to change anything, where you could
Mhm.
press this and change.
Yep.
And then last step is it'll generate the presentation. And you can always go in and change a slide, but you'll see how, and you can actually specify what kind of images you want it to have.
Okay.
You want it to have icons? Do you want it, is there a
Mhm.
specific, do you want it to pick images from the documents? So it can customize a bit of all of that.
Do you feel, Tulika, that this also gives control to the knowledge worker? And again, Adobe's built on its designers. We want designers and those people, but the world is evolving, the world's changing, and that someone like Tulika or like Ramon, we can say, hey, it's 3 a.m. My boss wants something. Let me get this done. Am I repeating what think I'm hearing? Is that?
Absolutely. I think that's the idea. How do we become 10x Ramones?
Yeah.
Right?
Let's
That's
do it.
that's
Come
the
on now. I
idea.
like that. That's Ramon.
So here's my, I said
Wow.
I didn't want more than 5 slides. It's done a great job.
Hey.
At least it's like 60 to 70% there, and
Mhm.
I can always just make changes. I can even export this into PowerPoint if
Mhm.
that's your preferred way of working,
Yep.
because it opens it in Express. Sorry. And so yeah, there we have it. As
I
it's
love it.
as simple as that. Life can be easy.
We got a tour from Adobe and didn't have to get on a bus or walk or anything. Um, anything
That
else that you wanted to share with us today, Tulika? This has been great. I mean, seeing Adobe Firefly, Adobe Express, seeing Adobe uh, Acrobat,
Acrobat Studio, yes.
Acrobat Studio, I'm impressed. I mean, again, I think that many smaller businesses, entrepreneurs, even big businesses, there's a lot of noise in the market for good. We want innovation. We want new companies to come. But I think it's interesting to see that this company, Adobe, that many of us have known the name Adobe for years, that Adobe has these things, and though they can leverage the nimbleness and power of AI. That's what I'm seeing. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, exactly. I think Adobe is a great brand. What I've always loved about it is the fact that it's always it focuses on really understanding what the customer thinks about.
Yeah,
And again, there's so much. I think from a customer lens, right? There's so many AI tools. It's hard to keep up.
it is.
Some of them are free. You don't know where your data is going as you're using them. And I think it's knowing knowing what you can do with these tools is always great. To sticking to a brand you kind of know you can
Mhm,
trust is
mhm.
important in all of this, especially as an upcoming business,
Yeah.
I feel.
Yeah, no, I think that's important. Anything I didn't ask you that you wanted to ask today? I already know we're going to have another interview about the stuff we talked about already before we hit record. But anything you wanted to talk about today that I didn't ask you, Tulika? Anything you wanted to mention that you didn't, that I didn't ask you, didn't get a chance? And if no, it's no problem. But I always ask my guests anything else they wanted to share.
Um, if there's anything specific you'd like to see, I can always focus a lot more on,
I love it.
security things.
Yep.
If your audience is looking for something specific, when I think of documents, I'm always like, let it take care of all the business so that you can do all the creative stuff, all the thought leadership stuff. So if there's other things your audience would like to see, I'm happy to come back and do that.
It sounds like a series, the tour of Adobe with Ramon and Tulika. That's what we
Yeah.
can do.
How to 10x yourself.
I love it. No, thank you, Tulika. And everybody, again, my name is Ramon Ray from the Rundown with Ramon. You can get to know me better at zoneofagenius.com. Tulika Gupta, you can see all her work. See her on LinkedIn or just go to adobe.com and we'll have the products and other things like this in the show notes. Tulika, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ramon. This was a pleasure.